Never looked inside of one of these. This is the power transformer. These two wires, the red and the orange, are the high voltage. There's a blue wire that comes out the center tap. These were the two wires that operated the filament of the tube. They put little diodes in here, and you can see just behind this red wire there's a resistor going to ground. You have to have the resistor, but one of the problems with these things is that if you put just diodes in and don't replace the capacitors, your voltage is going to be much higher, and anything that would be on the verge of failing will fail because you'll get about 75 to 100 volts more. So you got a little inductor here. A lot of these, when they get old, they get very brittle, and the terminals fall off, the wires break. So this power supply is all rebuilt. Inside here there's a little selenium rectifier. They didn't change that. So the rebuild kit apparently is just those two capacitors placed in series because they're 450 volt capacitors. They really should have had balancing resistors across them. This is the filtering capacitor for the 6 volts. And this is basically your ignition coil. And what that does is that feeds a high voltage pulse to fire the tube. So this is the cover, and that high voltage pulse from that transformer, the black ignition one, feeds this, and that goes to a wire that's spun around the tube to excite it and cause it to flash. So looking inside, there's a capacitor here that needed to be replaced, and they replaced it. But what really disturbs me is this neon tube looks like shit. He should have taken it out and cleaned it with some brake cleaner or something. Even if this lights up, there's not going to be much light that gets past all the dust. These things pick up a lot of stuff. These are balancing. They got a bunch of washers here. I can only do static balancing with my equipment. And these are the two brushes that do the high voltage. Like I said, it's just a thin little wire, and it wraps around there. But this was not a good job. That board should have been taken out, and the tube cleaned as best they could to get all the coating out of it. It could have been like 50% brighter with some cleaning. It might have been good enough to work. So now inside, this center, this is the tack. Don't ever open these up because these are difficult to set right, and you want to keep them clean. These two posts here have a little carbon brush contact to the center pin that rotates around. That's what brings the 550 volts. And up here you'll see that there's a bunch of fingers, and they switch in and out capacitors. Hopefully he's put new capacitors in here. Probably it looks like it was done. We have no use for those. I just normally rip them right out.